Oh, sorry. You're on mute.
Not me throwing shade at the episode before we even start. Let me stop.
We didn't even hear it. You was on mute. I didn't hear you say anything. Not the. That's why, and I was on mute, so I was like, "Sis, I don't hear you. What you saying?"
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I'm not sure if it went through or not, but yeah,
probably not if I was on mute. But y'all, that just goes to show how done I am with this season. We probably won't be up here for very long. I don't have much to say unless my sister has a lot to say, really. Yeah, I was underwhelmed.
Very, very much so. I know I was, because I put it on Peacock because I was like, okay, last one, they cussed and fuss. Not that I need to hear a lot of cussing, but I thought it was going to be a lot more since we got that in the first one. I was like, okay, I gotta be able to hear everything, everybody's accents, everybody's little cuss words. I want to be able to hear everything, and I feel like womp womp womp. I was like, huh?
I don't think that they even had like what's it called? I don't even think they had like extended parts or anything. I think it was just the same on both networks.
Yeah, it looked like it. I didn't watch the other one, but yeah.
There was no salacious tea being spilled. It was pretty much everything that we saw in like the trailer, y'all. And they maybe talked about a couple of the key points of the season a little bit more in detail by maybe 2 sentences, but really nothing major. But nonetheless, we always finish out strong. We are women of our word. So we are here to give you guys the good old commentary. Nonetheless, we'll try to make it more, exciting than the episode was. But before we get into all that, y'all, please hit the like button on both of our channels. We are streaming from both of our channels, so hit the like button on each. Thank you. And while you're at it, if you have any thoughts on the episode, let's keep the conversation going in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed to the channels, my channel, my good sis's channel, you guys need to subscribe to both channels as well too, because we both have our own content that we put out. And if you guys would like to be in the know about all things California Cutie and all things Barb Meets World, then you also need to hit the notification bell so every time we do make an upload. Because actually, this will be we'll be going live 3 times this week. Then total, we'll be up here, y'all. We already went live. What was that? Monday, with the fam, and then here we are now again. We'll be coming back to you guys again on Thursday. So
yes, we're a little bit of for another franchise, another good franchise that better give too.
It is. I'm gonna save my commentary and my thoughts on why I know it's gonna give until we pop
get into
it here, but yes. it's going to. I know it is.
Love.
We'll do our ratings of the whole season and everything in the end, but
okay,
I was definitely underwhelmed. Yeah.
You have every reason to be. There's only, like you said, maybe one for sure, one and a possible, if you will, that made me be like, oh, really? Is that what happened? So really 2 things that I was like, oh, okay, we got a little bit more clarity on that. So
I would have been good with a 1-part, 30-minute 1-part.
A 1.5 hour, right? You saying
no, 30 minutes, just condensed both parts down to just 30 minutes.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Sorry. I mean, I've been. Hey, in my defense, we have been going hard for them down here every single week. We have been down here. We've been saying y'all need to watch it. They're giving, like, give it a chance. You know, get these ratings up, like all the things, like. But if you guys aren't gonna pull up and do the work and give us what we need to see,
just saying.
What are we supposed to do? But whatever, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, I do want to open up with asking, do you feel like Andy, like, he was over it or annoyed, or like what do you think about his energy? Like, how do you feel like he was?
It was like a roller coaster. It was going up, it was going down, it was going sideways, it was going upside down. He didn't know what to do. He was trying to give, he was trying to help them give, which is really hard to do when somebody is lying. Or withholding some truth, if you will. So I can tell it was getting frustrating for Andy. You're absolutely right. He was very much frustrated, but he was, trying to keep the energy because he doesn't want it to look like he's frustrated. So yeah, I can see he had a little, thoughts running through his head.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely picked up on his energy. Even in part 1, I meant to ask this because I was looking at him like he's over this. Like he doesn't even understand why y'all are even going at each other like this, or what the real meat and potatoes of the situation is.
He definitely asked him, didn't he? Are y'all fighting over Rose?
He was trying, but like at the same time, it was like, y'all, what do you guys do? This is just, I think he was like, just throw it all away at by the end. Probably he was like, I need, to go get me some shots of something and leave y'all here because let somebody else do it. Anyway,
literally.
So y'all, we opened up this second part exactly where we left off last week, which was the whole Rafi getting involved in the argument situation. Basically, like whether or not he was in the right or wrong for doing so. He was very much, or I shouldn't say Taleen was very much like, he was de-escalating the situation. He was, just trying to, facilitate the conversation, I guess. And in Brooks's mind, she was not having it. She was like, I'm not even about to sit here and debate this with you. We really about to sit here and debate this man yelling at me? Like, no, that's absolutely not what we're doing. Hey, hi, how are you?
Everyone, thank y'all for joining us. Hey, Pooh11. Hey, Miko.
Hi.
Hey, Kens. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all on this good sunny afternoon. Well, almost. It's still morning on our end in California.
It is. And we're actually here a little bit earlier than we are normally, y'all. So we do appreciate y'all if you are popping in here because we're on a little bit earlier than we normally would because I gotta do something afterwards. But nonetheless, and hey, a Tress Love, how are you?
How you doing? Looking good, lady.
She says that she has really, wait, what? She has a rug. She doesn't have a rug. She has a rug for Brooks. Why does my note say she has a rug? See, my notes are over this episode too. She said that she was like genuinely worried when she didn't show up to Bali because then they moved on to showing up to Bali and all that. She says that her and Rafi, like, they were calling all around for her and everything. And Brooks, she wasn't really moved by that, really. She just really was like, oh, I saw that they cared, I guess. But she wasn't really moved by that. And I was just like, see, those are the type of people you can't even worry about because it's just like she wasn't even receptive to, typically when somebody cares about another person and they show that to that person, that other person's usually like, oh my God, like, that just warms my heart knowing that you care about me. But Brooks was very much not moved.
No, here's the thing. Well, not to cut you off, sister. Here's the thing. She, Andy asked about specifically Taleen being, concerned, even though they were at a rough patch in their friendship. And she said, I put that all aside I was genuinely, nervous. And we checked at the glass house, which is her business, and they checked at her house and then, couldn't get no answer. And then she said, so that's when Andy said, she showed genuine concern. And so she turns and says, I did see that part. It was good, and she was like, she named off everything else everybody else said. And then the biggest thing for her was that, and Stanberry said that, I know the B ain't dead, or, I'm saying, like something like that. And, they all laugh, but I'm thinking to myself, so that's out of this, when Andy asks you that, this is what you care to highlight the most. This is he asked you about Taleen, you grouped all the girls together and it still wasn't even good enough for you. It still sounded like, yeah, it's cool that they asked about me. Next. Like, what? It's like so blah. It's just so blah. No
time though. And this was like one of the other reasons, or this was one of the examples that I think of when I say this. Like, when you think about it, I'm not really bothered by her not being moved by it, because ultimately none of them are really like friends like that. That's just what this is showing us. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't be moved too if I thought that somebody was not really my friend, but trying to act like they cared so much about my whereabouts. I guess I see both sides on that, but Brooks was, she was interesting.
Well, for me, if we're talking about you, yeah, I can see that happening. But we're talking about Brooks. To me, Brooks has been caught up in so many lies or untruths or half truths, or I didn't say that when you did, or twisting the truth. Taleen, you were balled up on the floor, crying, and then Sarah's like, well, no, she wasn't on the floor. Well, she was she was, I can't think of the word she used because I really want to use the exact word, but whatever the word was, she's basically saying she was balled up in a fetus position, crying. Taleen's like, no, I was emotional. It made me upset. She's sitting at the table. She put her hands on the table and like kind of put her hands in her thing. Nothing about balled up in the corner on the ground, all this extra stuff. So for me, with Brooks, she always makes what she's saying so elaborate, but when somebody calls her out on her truth or what they know to be true and her to know she's going to deny it, she makes it so minimum. It's such a minimum little bitty teeny tiny itty bitty thing in her life that it's, I don't know why you're getting so upset about something so small in my life. But then when you're trying to tell the truth, you make it so much bigger. So I just can't rock with Brooks like I want to. I want to bad. I really do. I don't want to not like her, but at this point, she makes me not like her.
I feel you. I think it also has to do with like, she never shows us any like positive feelings. I feel like it's always like when she does get passionate about something and she is moved about something, it's usually like anger or like her coming at somebody or trying to like, whatever, start some stuff. That's the only time she really shows true passion. Right. So it's like at the same time, if you aren't receptive to them caring about your whereabouts because they aren't your friends, then I feel like me being somebody who isn't going to let anybody get under my skin one way or another, like if the only people that can make me feel some type of way are people that I care about. So if that's the case, I'm not going to get angry then about some things that people are saying to me if they're not true things, if I don't care about those people then. But she does that, so you would then think that, wait, so then are they your friends then? Because you're passionate enough about it to where you're getting angry about all these things with them. But on the flip side, you're not also feeling anything when they say that I don't know. She's just
weird. She's weird. Hey, is it Laprecia or Laprice?
Yeah, we want to make sure we get the pronunciation right.
Yeah, we don't want to mess it up.
You let us. So then they talk a little bit about the mustard yellow dress, which I didn't care about at all. But then you have Brooks equating it to like the
bio.
Yeah, like what? Like
I was like, girl, you don't even know the name of it.
Wow,
And then
that's
when you describe it, ugh.
that's like really bad. And then Lisa's whole thing was like she just felt bad for the designer being a designer herself. She felt bad for the designer whose name it was it's spelled Sedek, I believe, but like I was saying Sukdik. Yeah. And they were like, oh my God, no, that's not how you say it. And Lisa's like, yeah, no, that is exactly how you say it or whatever. So ha ha he whatever. And Andy also makes mention of the Watch What Happens live episode, where Brooke said that there may be amends on the horizons for her and Taleen. If Taleen apologizes, that is. So he asks her, like, you know, where are you at right now in the reunion with that? Like, are we good or are we not? Like, where are you at with it? And Brooke says that she's good. Like, she doesn't need anything else in this moment to move forward. Taleen, on the other hand, though, she hasn't really got any apologies. Brooke's got 2 apologies by this point, but Taleen hasn't really gotten an apology from Brooks. So she's like, girl, like, I need you to kind of take accountability for the whole smear campaign that you had on Twitter. Like, you are a whole, as Andy loves to call somebody, a mess on Twitter. Yeah, you were doing all that, but Brooks was like, you know what, if that's where this is going to go, then I take back what I just said, because your family was coming at me crazy. Your mom implied alcoholism. Your sister said I was unhinged. So
Taleen's like, oh, you are unhinged.
Miss me with that. I feel like that's another show of like, you don't actually, I don't know. I feel like neither of them were serious about really wanting to get to a good place at this point. I do understand though, if you have apologized and you feel like the other person isn't, like, I don't feel like it was bad for Taleen to want that, because I don't feel like Brooks gave that at all. It was always like she tried to justify it by giving some elaborate like answer as to like why she did a certain thing. Ooh, hold on. I thought I had to sneeze. Sorry.
I was gonna say bless you. I knew it. I was like, that's a bless you look right there.
But it was like trying to pull blood from a rock between them.
I don't like when people apologize. Like, say we in an argument and I'm like, Barb, you know what? I'm the bigger person. I'm sorry. We had this argument, and you turn and say that means, you know, you get to say you accept the apology. You get to say if you're sorry or not. You get to say whatever. Now, say you don't say nothing. Say you don't say I'm sorry too, or my bad. I was, you know, maybe you're not ready to. Maybe you're not ready to move on. Now, I can accept that because I've already apologized. Now, what I can't do is make you apologize to me, feel different, tell you when to apologize to me. I don't even want your fake apology. Not fake, but I don't want your apology because I'm giving you one. I want you to be apologetic because you're sorry for what happened, right? So I understand why Taleen in that moment before Andy decided to move on, wanted to be known. Look, I'm not moving on. I did say I'm sorry, but I'm not ready to move on. I'm sorry for what I did, but I felt a certain kind of way when she did this to me. And that's what she was trying to say. It still was falling on deaf ears because, like, Brooks is a little different. He likes to protect. She's like a little kid in some manner. Like, I'm taking it back. If you're going back down that road, then I'm taking it back. Why are you taking anything back? What are you doing?
That means this. Well, I'm not gonna.
I understand.
It doesn't happen.
No, I understand. What you should have said was, you know what? Let's just move on. Not I'm taking it back. Yeah. Like because what you should have said was, you know what? I'm ready to move on, and I'm not ready to apologize right now. You know, I'm soaking it all in. Just give me a moment, and then move on. It's just some things, the way she handles it. Sometimes I feel like it's just too nonchalant. I told you at our last, the first reunion, our last recap. I didn't like the way Brooks wasn't giving her no eye contact when she was talking, referring to Taleen. She kept looking at Andy, and I feel like that's a telltale sign she's not ready. Like literally, that's like because if you are, just like Ayan told Lesa, look me in my eye. Yeah, because when I'm ready to talk to you and I want you to know that I'm really sorry, I'm gonna look you dead in your eye. I'm gonna look right in your eye. I'm gonna be right in your face. I'm damn near about to be almost kissing on you. And with my apology, probably gonna come a hug because I really mean what I say. So not saying that happens with them or all the time. I'm just saying usually when it's somebody you care about, that's what kind of you follow it up like that. But these ladies being on TV sometimes, I think they kind of play out for the camera a little bit. A little bit.
/ y'all know you are not really friends like that. Like, if you guys are watching the video, I see there's 14 of you in here. Please hit the like button on both channels.
Please.
I'm looking at my channel and I know I'm seeing some missing likes. So y'all in the bushes, please hit that like button. This is channel you have not hit the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. We are trying to grow our channels. We are trying to be all intertwined into the algorithm. So please, if you are watching, like the video. Like, please, it's a free way to support the channels. Anyway, so again, they were playing our faces. Is basically what
there we go.
Do I have anything else to say about that? Okay, apologize, but are you apologizing? Yeah, Brooks, we move on. So that was pretty much.
Oh, you want to bring up Twitter? I don't appreciate that Twitter stuff, and even Andy saying that she would go live. Like I didn't see none of that. I don't be on Twitter like that. Did you see
that? Going in on Twitter, yeah.
Oh, okay, I know you do because that's one. I have a platform. I just don't. I can't be on everything every time, every day. That's all.
Yeah. Brooks was going off on Twitter apparently. Like I wasn't following word for word, but he apparently was being very vocal. And it's only like crazy because she said that she wasn't even that type of person, or she wasn't even. I don't even think she had all the platforms before she got on this platform. And then so now it's like you turn into this whole social media person. And,
oh, okay, all righty. I just want to know.
And I mean, ultimately, like, yeah, like Taleen is allowed, like anybody's allowed to have an issue with something that another person said about them or whatever, or if your feelings were hurt about something, that's totally fine. And again, we know that Andy loves to call somebody out about their tweets or their Twitter behavior. Shout out to Candace. But I was just like, it is what it is. So at that point, y'all, they went to lunch. They cut for like 45 minutes and got a slew of like one-on-one conversations. We had Taleen go to Sarah's dressing room at first. She was pissed because she just got off the heels of this whole conversation with Brooks. And she's not going to take accountability for anything. I've apologized 100 times, like, and she can't even give like one example of when she like went low with some stuff. Like I'm good. And
do you agree with that though? Before you move on, do you agree with Taleen that Brooks don't have as much, or can she pinpoint some things and say some things to Taleen, or do you think that Taleen is like kind of like not overdoing it, but you know what I mean, like? Do she really want to be called out on her stuff, or do you think she don't really have anything? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
No, I think they both said some crazy stuff. With Taleen, I mean, do I feel like Brooks kind of started it first with Taleen? Yeah, I kind of do, because she's the one that was just so bothered by Taleen wanting to be friends with this lady. But at the same time, are we maybe missing some parts behind the scenes with that whole situation that might shift my focus a different way? Maybe, but we'll never know. I do feel like Brooks there were several times in the season that she just was being extra nasty. And again, we're talking about two women who claimed that they were so good friends at one point. So again, if y'all are so good friends and each friend is saying that the other friend hurt their feelings in a way, why can't, for the betterment of the friendship, then you do what you need to do to make amends and continue on with the friendship. No, that's always how I regard my friendships. So that just tells me y'all don't really like, either y'all
Well,
are too big individually, or y'all don't just really like each other like that.
they've been friends for over 10 years. Her real friend is Taleen's husband, not Taleen. So there's the, you know, those things. But I became really close friends with my husband's homeboys, wives. What's up, Kev? And we agree. I know you just came in. I don't know if you've been in the bushes, but we said the same thing. It was not, we've been pushing hard. We've been pushing for this franchise, and they let us down in this reunion, just in case you missed it. But yeah, we totally agree. But yeah, I feel like you guys, well, you know, we know some things, and we'll discuss later. But it's weird because you become friends with your husband's friend, and I don't introduce my girlfriend as my husband's homeboy's wife. Like, I ain't going through all of that. Like, we either that's my friend or it's not. Like, and all that. Well, you know, Taleen, that's Taleen's husband. They was friends with Taleen's husband. Yeah, but you Brooks can't just hang out with Taleen's husband and they just watching football and hanging out. It don't really kind of work like that. Now, how good of friends they were and all this other stuff is more of a reason why y'all should already talk this out. Like, y'all, what are y'all doing? Ego, like you were saying, or trying to, you know, like you just said again with the platforms, maybe trying to make a name for yourself.
All of the above.
Like, that's what it is.
All of the above.
What can I say? Pull this thing up for me.
At this point, Dubai can stay away and not come back.
Okay.
And it's like, I can't fault you for feeling that way because I'm kind of sad. I don't want to say that yet. I don't want to verbalize it.
Yeah, we're not.
I don't want to say it yet, but like I would be lying if I said that I don't feel a little bit of something like that deep down inside.
And let's be clear, they did take us.
Though above all,
they took it away for him a while too the last time. So it's like, you take it away, you're gonna take it away because we've been pushing for them to not go away so long so we can stay on top of where we are at within those 3 months. You know what I mean?
They lost us in these last couple of episodes, I think, and it was not supposed to be this way. I wish that I didn't like the beginning of the season and we ended on a high note versus us. I feel like coming in on a high note and we were down here excited and talking, and then towards the end it was just like, this is it. Yeah, I don't want to end the season with my face turned up, but that's what they want. Anyway,
agree.
Taleen and Sara. Mm-hmm. And Sara definitely was right there backing up Taleen too as well. I feel like she's like, you know, you've always apologized even before filming, and in order for them to move forward, there just needs to be an honest conversation, obviously. But are we gonna get that? We'll have to stick around and find out. So Brooks, she went into Lesa's room and she was like, "What the F was that?" Ayan, it was like on 1,000. Like, what was up with that? Meanwhile, Ayan, she was in Stanbury's room, and she's like, "Wow, I fell for it. I fell for it. I sure did." And Stanbury's like, "What do you fell for? What?" And she's like, "The word victim. She knows how to push my buttons. She knows what that word does to me, and she used it. She's my best friend. She used that word, and it took me there, and I fell for it." And Stanbury's like, "Yes, you fell for it. She knows how to sugar you, and you rise into the occasion each and every time, honey." And then she was like, "You know, you need to calm down because she making you crazy, and then you making me crazy because
I'm watching."
Like, it was like a chain of craziness. And then we end that little scene with her standing up, and then bravo, y'all need to do better, because why was there freaking roach traps like on the ground? I know y'all's in New York, but I don't care about none of that. Y'all,
it attached to her train on her dress.
I would have I would have lost it. Like, I don't around bugs, y'all. I don't fear people, but I fear bugs. I would have lost it. Like, come on now. And then you got Dubai. You got Ayan talking about like, did you just shit my?
Where do come down her leg and go down?
I couldn't even be mad at that because like, girl,
Crazy.
serious? Like, y'all got roaches up onto the couch. Like, do better. Do better. Oh,
And
Love says I actually like Dubai. They can do better. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
We want to like it. We want to come back next season with y'all. But at the same time, if they're not, you know, making it worth our while right now, they could do better. They could do better.
200% better because that was our bonzo beans.
I will say if they are given another season and they miss the mark, then we have to
part ways.
Okay. And then we have what other conversations do we have? We had Brooks and Taleen. Yeah, Brooks pops in on Taleen.
That's what I'm at.
And they, you know, small talk for a second. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? All that stuff. And then Brooks is like, you know, I want to move forward once again. But Taleen is like, I'm not off of your online shenanigans. We need to unpack it. And Brooks is like, girl, like, I don't want to go back down to the dark side with it. Like, I want to kind of just basically glaze on and over it because I got what I need from it. And that's all I can give you is the energy that Brooks is putting off, in my opinion. And Taleen's like, you know, besides Watch What Happens Lives, like, where did I go super low? And because at the end of the day, I feel like it was you that took it super low, Brooks. And again, Brooks is like, I don't want to revisit the deep, dark stuff. And they go back and forth for a second. And it all ends with Brooks walking out and Taleen is still going off. And she's like, you know, you wanted me to be on the show just so that I could go, or you could go up for at Stanbury and the other ladies, or however she put it. I don't remember. And Brooks is like, no, girl, you wanted to be on since season 1.
You're only on season 2. Oh my God, you act like y'all been in the 10th season.
Like, it's all gonna come back down to this stupid ass. Like, you wanted me to go after them. Like, okay, like, can we get to?
And all of that could be true. All of that is probably true. But why are you bringing it up now? Because you think that's gonna do something? Hey, Auntie Bernice. But it's annoying for me to sit there and watch them go back and forth. Like I said, Brooks in this moment again, she just always feels like she's always like, I'm not about to do what you want me to do, so get over it. Brooks ain't, come on, Auntie, because she enjoys tearing down all the ladies' relationship, especially Ayan and Lesa. Oh, she was loving when they were friends. Even, you know, she loved it. That's why to watch Brooks now sit next to Lesa and kiki with Lesa and do all that, like, girl, you don't even like her.
No, honestly, I'm not.
Because you know, Ayan's watching you like a hawk, sitting next to her supposedly best friend, who y'all not best friends right now, but you just sitting there hawking her. So y'all doing to each other. Ayan and Lesa are getting off on the fact that Stanberry's right here with me, Ayan, and so you don't like me sitting here. And then again, now I gotta look across at you sitting next to Brooks, who I really know she don't like neither one of us, and you're over there kikiing with her. Y'all besties. Taleen even over there like, look at the besties, look at the besties. So it's just like the optics is off. Y'all got two people in your ear singing in each other's ear. Well, I ain't gonna say Stanbury was doing it as much, but Brooks is definitely sitting there chirp, chirp, chirping, being a bird. Chirp, 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 chirp. But won't talk to lean in her face or move on. And I'm like, girl, you talking about I ain't nobody scared. Girl, ain't nobody scared of you. Weirdo.
Yeah, Brooks.
Yeah. That's weird.
For me, them two, it's like they obviously bonded together because they're on the outs with, you know, everybody else and their mother. And they thought, you know, let's make an alliance, obviously. But right. It's just funny because it's like there are so many times, especially in the second part, where like we saw right through that because like I want to say, obviously when they talked about the whole spa and the branding and all that stuff, that was a show right there. Y'all really don't like each other. And then there was a couple other times where little random things were said, and then you got Brooks looking like all big-eyed, like, oh, like y'all don't really rock with each other. It was an alliance of convenience. That's it. Oh,
hey.
Excuse me. Sarah Brooke several times, and she kept looking at her sideways. Yes, those are the moments where I did actually appreciate Sarah. She did say a couple little tidbits, and she sewed together some gray areas for us, and I appreciated that for that. But I also have some stuff to say about Sarah too.
Best believe Barb's is always going to have something to say about Sarah. Let's be clear.
So they all get back from the break or whatever, from lunch, and we dive back into things. We dive right back into Ayan and Lesa, and we actually get more toward like the end all be all final fallout between them. And Ayan can't sleep. Why did I write that? Ayan can't sleep. Ayan dresses how she makes her feel. Oh, they were saying Anyway, the real thing of it all was, y'all, Andy asks Brooks about the comment she made about the Mina Rowe event. Like I just said, the whole spa thing. We know Brooks was super upset about that. She was.
Butthurt. She was butthurt is the word you're looking for. Butthurt.
She really was. And the event, was branded, or actually, I don't even want to say that yet. I want to say that things kind of started to go left when Brooks made those comments at the event. We get the flashback, and Brooks justifies her comments by saying that she was particularly offended because of two things. And I don't even know if she really explained both things concretely. She started off by saying, yes, do I do services in other establishments from time to time? Yes, when I'm like traveling or whatever, but we were in Dubai at this time. So that looks like the optics of that, I guess, in her mind look crazy. And Lisa's very much sitting there like, yeah, yes, you sure do get spa services. So she's politely checking her right next to her. And then Andy's like, so what are you saying? Like, you saying like, because is that like me saying I watch other TV or I don't watch other TV shows because I'm not on it or whatever? I was just like, oh my God, like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? And all the ladies are very vocal. They're like, Brooks, you were pissed. You were pissed at Glass House. And Brooks is like, no, that was only the case because Sergio and Stanberry messaged me themselves talking about how there's branding decals all over the. So that's.
And what did Stanberry say?
Stanberry was like, girl, you came into my room when I was having a massage. And like, and I love that she said that, because I know we talked about that when it happened. We were like, girl, they can't even get no relaxation going because you in there talking about.
She walked in that place, the establishment, with the decal on the ground, pissed her off. As soon as Brooks got out of that car, walked up and seen Mina Rose on the ground, and on the window, and walked in there and got the bags, and she wasn't by no other woman. She walked in there with an attitude and was like, are we at a spa? Did she turn this place into the spa? So she walked in there with an attitude. Then she did walk in there with the ladies, and she's the one that brought it up. I would have gave it to her for free. I would have let her rent it out for free. That was all her. Nobody came to her with that. She walked in with it. When you rent a facility, you're gonna put out all your trademark advertising everywhere. Brooks was being a biatch about it. Let's be clear. I've been to many clubs. Let's be clear, like a club, like back in the day. If a brand is there, it's gonna be everywhere. Their product, a piece of something. You get your little bag. Even Barb, when I go to the fashion show stuff, there's like stuff everywhere. You get your little booth, you get your little branded stuff, you go do your thing in that part of the area. Why wouldn't you think that if she rented the whole space out, she's not going to utilize it? Y'all just meant that she did it to the best of her ability. And we all understand, we all know Brooks was being a hater, period. She was hating.
Reasonably minded person knows that a true event, there's going to be branding, like, period. So the fact that we're even having a drag out conversation about this, about something that's so non-debatable, that's why I'm saying Andy was like, what are we doing? What are you guys talking? Mind blown. Glad production rolled that clip because, again, Brooks was fuming. I'm surprised she didn't burn a hole through her seat. She was so on fire about it. And Andy asked Stanbury, like, okay, so did you get her riled up, or, because she was fuming about it? And it's like, Stanbury's like, no, she was fuming at the door. Like, that was very much just Brooks, period. And again, this is when Lesa jumps in to say, basically to set the record straight. It's a branded event. You rent out a space, you're going to brand it, period. No questions about it. And furthermore, and I know we made mention of this up here, that weeks prior to that, Brooks, when you had your grand opening for Glass House, you conveniently left off Ayan and Lesa from the guest list, but everybody else up there was invited, I guess.
Can I do my best, Brooks? She's looking over here at the person. That's all she does. She just shakes her head and be like, yeah, you're right. But she's not going to say, yeah, I didn't invite y'all. At that time, we weren't getting along. Just nothing. It's just, I was like, y'all hold Brooks' feet to the fire for nothing. Y'all just don't do it. Maybe because y'all don't care.
Brooks didn't even say anything, actually.
She don't say nothing. She just nods.
It was Stanbury that actually jumped in at that point. And and this is another example of what I said before, where it's like, y'all are not friends. Because Stanbury even said, she's like, we kind of sabotage everybody's wins for each other. Like, they don't celebrate one another. And that's something that's like key to any friendship, in my opinion. That you celebrate each other's wins, but they don't, that doesn't exist in this group. They're always trying to tear down somebody else's business. And we even saw an example of that, says Stanbury, when Lesa tried to tell Taleen she didn't have a business. And, Taleen, of course, is over there. Taleen was on one, this reunion, if you ask me. And, she was like, and then also apparently someone pays my bills and all this other stuff, which we do address those things. And the entire time, Lesa's just very adamant about saying, you came for my business last year, you came for my business, yada, yada, yada. And we do get those flashbacks from last season where they were going back and forth. And Stanbury had some colorful things to say about Lesa's business that Lesa didn't take too kindly to, and all that. So Lesa accuses Stanbury. She's like, oh, okay, so bet you were basically doing her dirty work then. You were wanting Brooks to do your dirty work, is what you were doing, apparently. And I'm like, what? Oh, that happened? Okay. Interesting way to look at it. And then we get off that only to have Lesa. She came with receipts and props and all types of stuff, and she casually pulls on out. She has and it's crazy because I literally have 2 journals right here. I love notebooks and journals, y'all. Leave me alone. And she's like, Stanbury, I just, I find it interesting. You had so much to say about my business when, I bought one of your journals and I look inside and I freaking see that this journal literally says the same words that this journal says that I got 10 years ago. And Stanbury's like, girl, I never said I wrote it. Like, I never said I wrote it myself, but I see what you tried to do there. And I think she handled that well. And I mean, that also is another, I guess, part of business too, where it's like, yeah, you don't always make everything from scratch, I guess, was what Stanbury was getting at. And I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. And Lesa continues on by saying the words plagiarizing, which is illegal. Yeah, so she called her out on the reunion, just like she says Stanbury called her out last year on the reunion. How'd you feel about that little stunt?
It kind of fell flat because Stanbury wouldn't let it. It doesn't roll. It rolled off her back. So when things roll off your back, or you kind of like and put a nip in it, like, girl, you gotta come better than that. Like, you have to come with something better than that. Like, Stanbury takes that because one, well, she might be the second oldest. Who knows? I'll just say that she's one of the older ones there. I'll let Ayan take the oldest because ain't nothing wrong with being the oldest and not looking it. Even though she doesn't look old anymore. Not that she ever looked old. She, doesn't look her age. I'll put it like that. But anywho, I thought it was brilliant that she really didn't bite and it didn't stick. And the fact that she would pull out a journal or, okay, girl, that's like saying you're gonna say plagiarism on calendars. All the calendars have the same information in it. What pictures is put in it? There's the dogs, there's the kittens, there's the horses, there's all these different calendars. They don't have the very same information in it.
There's like only so much variation you can get.
That's what I'm saying. There's only so many things you're gonna say, and you can do as a journal or in a book as an author.
Unless it's like, hand, like literally, like if Stanbury had
word,
on her living room counter or her kitchen counter, and was like making them by hand, I feel like that's the only way that you're gonna, when you're mass producing something like journals, it's not gonna be that much variation.
No. And the fact that they was able to throw back in her face that she gets her cream, hey Kamiko, that she gets her cream from Alibaba, the cream that they put on the babies on the stomach for the baby.
I'm starring this. This is a good one.
I remember on Living Single when Regine went to party and 3 other ladies, oh my gosh, and had on her dress. Thank you, baby. And she went through drink, girl. That's how you do it. That is definitely how Brooks is. That is.
I really liked Regine, but at the same time, obviously, she was very Regine. Brooks is definitely a Wicked Witch version of Regine. She is.
I love that. I love that you.
Great example. Sorry that.
Oh, she warmed it up.
It just. In other words, she did the. Oh, I did hear.
Come on now, because remember that.
Like at the same time, am I just gonna slap my name on anything and call it? Like, no, I'm gonna try to switch up some things, but it was just the way that I feel like Lesa like really was trying to nail it to her with that, and I was just like, it didn't really make me feel like oh my god, she is a horrible person. Wow, out here like
not her putting out those journals saying the same thing that's in another journal.
That wow. My mind is blown. I wasn't moved by it.
I know this was your favorite segment coming up because I put in my notes human backpack segment, and then I was like, this is gonna be my sister's favorite part to talk about.
Yeah, because I'm basically done with it. Oh, the last thing I just want to say about that though, before we go to human backpacks, is how then it got weird with like, your creams are from Alibaba. No, they're from Europe. Brooks is like, I didn't say that. That was Sara and done it. Like,
they all was going haywire.
And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I was done. Anyway, so yeah, Stanbury's new home. We get into Stanbury's segment here, y'all. They play her little deck or whatever with her stuff, and her home. It actually took 1.5 to 2 years to complete almost, which I thought even before she said it, I was like, damn, that was fast. That was actually fast. For that type of home, I was actually shocked. I thought that was going to take longer. And and she says someone had written in and said, did Sergio say he was the man of that house when he was at somebody else's? He was in another man's house when he said that? Did we hear him correctly? And Andy's like, yeah, did you consider him the man of Michael's house, or can you clarify?
He's a man of her world. Dang it, that's her husband. Can she live? Can he live? Dang. I'm not saying that was right. He's completely wrong. You're not the man of the house.
I didn't really think I knew, knowing what we see of Sergio, like I knew that didn't really mean that he thought that he was, but I mean it definitely was funny, and I'm glad that somebody liked it. And yeah, Sarah's like, no, she's like, no, he wasn't thinking that was, you know, his house or whatever, and that was actually that was actually something he had difficulty with, I should say. But then Andy's like, okay, well, what about y'all's house? Like, does he think that, you know, like, is he the man in charge of there? Like, what about that? And she's like, well, yes and no. And I'm like, see, here we go. Like, here we go, Stanbury. She's like, you know, I'm 20 years older than him, and you know, I just like to take control of things. And I was married before to somebody who was basically in the controller, and that's actually something I think that we mentioned before, even though she's never verbalized. I was very much in the know that that's probably how her first marriage went. So the way that she's going about this marriage, she got somebody that she can orchestrate that level of control over. There's only certain types of people that are going to allow you to control everything, and so it seems to be like okay with that, but clearly, obviously, yeah, her ex-husband wasn't. And she's like, I vowed I would never do that again. He ran everything. And then we got Taleen over there talking about some like, yeah, like he really, I really respect Sergio because he's very secure with who he is. We got Ayan talking about she spent 48 hours with him and he ain't never leaving that lady. Everybody's saying
Team Sergio, boy.
Everybody, which I mean, ultimately behind the scenes, if they're good and that's really like the case, then by all means, I'm not upset about it. Like, good for them. But it's just when she is asked certain questions about certain stuff, I still feel like there's some gaps in there that they got to figure out. Like, yeah, they might get along and he might love her and stuff like that. But this baby situation being one of them, I don't feel like that's been figured out yet, and
that's coming to a head, baby. That's coming to a head. Like literally, like time. They got an hourglass flipped upside down for on a 2-year, like literally, because that's what that's why they gotta come back, because we gotta watch them squirm out. We gotta watch Stanbury squirm out of not having a baby. Like that's the funnest part of me watching for her, because it's hard to throw her off her square. You want to throw her off her square, say baby. She'd be like. That is just, you know, that's all you got to do, baby. Anybody want to go have a drink? You want to go do something else? All you got to do is say baby to her. Like she probably can't listen to Ashanti. She can't listen to Ashanti. Baby, 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 baby. She'd be like, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Oh I'm serious. That's a trigger word for her. See. Yeah, so I want to watch her squirm for the next 2 years, and she's probably gonna get a surrogate, which is weird because Sergio wants to touch and rub and feel the baby, and you know, it's just so many pieces of that part of them that is. They were snitching. Oh, that cracked me up when she put that right there because they really were. They were snitching like first 48 for sure. Everybody want to say who did it, where it came from, or what me. What did we say? Oh, you're not gonna leave me out here. You ain't gonna leave me out here. I ain't taking that. I'm not taking that hit. I said, girl, you be telling on everybody, but you were literally, when you got some part of the truth, you shouted to the mountaintops. You like literally start shouting it. And that's why you can tell there's some truth in what she's saying when she does that. There's some truth in when she shuts up too. It's a lot of truth. Her not saying stuff is her letting me know, like, you don't want to say nothing. You're trying to play like I'm not giving no energy. No. You're lying. You're lying.
I definitely, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
We in agreement, y'all.
before we move on, because I do see that collectively there are 16 of y'all in here and we are still missing some likes.
Come on, y'all.
Ahead and I'm gonna hit this like the video and you guys are gonna like the video. Yes, hit that like button, please, and thank you. We are streaming from both channels. So yes, hit the like button on both channels, please, and thank you.
Yes. Hey, Miss Jacka Trades. Let's go, y'all. I love you guys are all coming in slowly but surely. You know, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys go hit the like button on both our channels. We're streaming live from both.
You can't be the man of the house in another man's house, but give the man child some respect because you picked him up with your Cruella de Vil accents. Yeah, that's where I'm like on one hand, it's like I feel like she's actually the one that dictates whether or not, like, how people like look at him, treat him, and all those things. So it's like these moments where Andy asks you, like, well, is he the man of y'all's house or whatever? And she's like, well, yes and no. And I'm not sitting here saying that that's how people should run their households. Y'all run it how you want to.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a phrase that y'all use in your house, then by all means use it. But if not, that's okay too. But it's like she makes it easy for them to laugh at him. I feel like sometimes is basically what I'm saying.
I kind of agree with that. I do feel like she doesn't. Oh, that's nice. I do feel like she could do a little bit better to make, and it's not that they don't respect him, because that's what I like about Taleen saying, you know, I respect the fact that, you know, he's trying to be his own person. He is his own person. He really is. He does have a lot of challenges. He has the grown kids. He got his wife. He has a lot of things going on. Just them even asking, does he work? What? You see what I'm saying? Like, me, does he work? No, he leeches off of me. He's my other kid. What do y'all think? Like, it's annoying.
I'm glad you said this, Kevin, because that's why I kept saying that earlier. I don't know if you were in here yet when I was like, yes, Andy loves to he is like the Twitter police, and he loves to talk about somebody's Twitter etiquette. And I'm just like, you need to stay off that app, because that just tells me everything I need to know. I'm always been convinced that he really do not be watching these episodes for real, and he gets his recaps and his information obviously from Twitter, because he's quick to always call somebody's Twitter etiquette out, period. Yes, so then
he also still calls it Twitter. That lets me know too. Like, I mean, not that you guys, a lot of you guys still on Twitter, X, whatever. Some of y'all try to say X, trying to change it up, but I feel like he always says the same thing. He always says Twitter.
I feel like in a professional setting, I would call it X, but and like when I pitch myself to brands and stuff like that, I call it X. But if I say that up here, then sometimes I feel like people be like, "What do you do?"
What?
But yeah, he needs to stay off there, I feel like. And speaking of him and bringing it back to Sergio, he asks Stanbury, yes, like, so does he have a job? Which is what we've actually been asking a little bit here and there too during the season. And she's like, oh, of course. Like, I wouldn't be with no man that ain't got no job. Of course he got a job. Actually, we just bought, or we're, renovating like this small boutique hotel that has, 15 suites or whatever, over in Bali. It's called Samara's Nest. And yeah, it's actually Sergio's baby. Like, it's actually his project. And I'm just like, can we just dissect that a little bit? I'm sorry. So my whole thing is, you didn't even answer the question. You didn't even answer the question, because he said, does he have a job? Like, as in like currently, as in like this entire time. You said, oh, y'all just got this hotel or whatever. Yeah, y'all just started doing that or whatever. What was he doing 10 weeks ago or, 10 months ago? Like, what was he doing that whole time? Like, that didn't answer the question for me.
Yeah, because that still don't mean working. Because if y'all renovating, did they show him on the plot standing with the people like plowing stuff down and doing things? Was that supposed to be him? Because that's what I was like, he in the construction now? Like, did he help build the house? Like, what? Like, I don't know. I mean,
you know, just overseeing obviously the development, but it's just like, again, cool. That's what you guys are doing now. What was he doing before? Like, that wasn't talked about during the season. So clearly, like, this just came about.
Because he stopped playing soccer how long ago?
I feel like he stopped playing before the pandemic. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. So that's 4 years.
What are we doing, sir? I've never clocked in anybody's pockets. I could care less, honestly. But it's just like, it was a valid question. I feel like she didn't really answer it, and I feel like nobody else called her. I would have called her out for that. I'm sorry. You guys can probably call me jacked up for that, but like, I would have been like, okay, what was he doing when we were filming though? Because my husband was at work. That's all I would have said. That's all. I'm sorry. Like, that's just what I would have said.
Because indirectly it's not really going to get hit. Stanbury is going to really hit Sergio. And so I think with that, they think like, oh yeah, I can hit him, but I mean, I can hit her with it, but it's really going to, Sergio the one going to come back and be like, why you say something? Why you say something about my job? Why you did this?
He needed something to do. She needed to get him off her back for a couple hours. And so she bought this property. He's overseeing the day-to-day construction, or the property manager. He's answering the calls or whatever. She's given him enough to make it feel like, you know, like he's doing something or whatever, but it's really like she's the owner, like, for real. Yeah, that's what it's giving.
Well, let's be clear. We are going to be fair on both sides. At least I will be. If the shoe was on the other foot and he was the breadwinner and the wife wasn't doing anything, we wouldn't be saying as much. So if his wife has it and he doesn't have to work, just say that, Stanbury. I'll take care of him. You see, she gave everybody the shirt she gave him. We'll go to that later. But I'm just saying, just say I'm a sugar mama. I take care of my honey. And because my husband took care of me all them years, and I feel like, you know, this is the man I want to be with, and I want to take care of him, and he works when I want him to.
Or it just doesn't seem like he is like an object to her, really. So it's just like, she probably just she's not looking for somebody for money as much as she's looking at somebody to, you know, be her chauffeur and do all these like non-financial things for her, I feel like. So if he gives her those things, and I'm glad you said that, like, ultimately, yeah, like if that's how they want to divvy it up, and he you know, she's the breadwinner and he, you know, does all the other non-monetary, you know, duties or whatever, then that's totally fine too. I think we should definitely normalize that. So that's cool. But I just feel like, yeah, in that moment, she should have just said that then, instead of saying, like, oh yeah, we got this thing that's going on. And it's like, girl, you just got that 5 minutes ago. Just
go right back to what Auntie Bernice said. That came from you, Buki. Yes, you. Yeah. That's you. And you are assisting your husband with some money, some financing, some trying to make. Now you can say, yeah, it's his dream. That's his fine. Taleen's husband got a dream too. Is it Taleen's husband? I'm sorry. Who the one that wanted? I mean, not Taleen. Lisa's husband got a dream too. He wants to have a farm. Breadwinner though. So I mean, he makes his own money. I'm just saying. So it's not far-fetched to hear that. Yeah, these husbands have dreams and things that they want to do. Just be honest. That look, Sergio, you don't have it like that. You married into wealth. So
yeah, instead of saying like, because she said it, she was like, you know, I don't need another handbag or, you know, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, of course you don't need another handbag. That's why you got a human backpack instead. Yeah, I think she summarized it without coming out and directly saying it. Like, yeah, she basically did it with him for the money, y'all. She didn't.
And even no shade, no tea. Why she even said, remember her saying, when they accused Michael paying all the bills, and she said, no one pays all my bills. I said, there ain't not even your husband. No one pays my bills.
She's like, she's just at an interesting point in her life in general. Like, she's divorced. That was a big point of contention, obviously, in her first marriage or whatever. And she said, And I do fully support her in that, y'all. Don't sit here and think that I don't. I fully support her in being like, I'm going to remain financially independent until I leave this earth. Absolutely. That is totally okay. I just want her to be like 100% real about all angles of it. What else was with Stanberry? Oh God. Then we get into the baby stuff. And we get into that only because I want to say Andy asked her about her comment she made about the marriage only lasting 10 to 15 years or whatever. She tries to, of course, make it seem as though she was joking about it. And she's just like, there is a huge age difference here. So basically, I guess what she's saying is like, it's cool now, but someday it might not be so cool when maybe I don't look like this or whatever. Because again, there's, a 20-year-old age gap in between them. And that brings a lot of differences that may be something that they can deal with now, but in the future, maybe not. And I guess that's what she was saying she was getting at, which I could understand, but she should have known that question was gonna come up. You can't say that on TV, on this platform, and not have it be like, oh, what you're gonna. Yeah,
I always feel like Stanbury is doing an Eminem with people, where she like beats them to the punch. Like, I'm gonna beat you to it. Y'all already think that I'm gonna get old and look a certain way and he's not going to be attracted to me no more, so I'm going to say it to y'all so y'all can't say it to me. So for me, I always feel like she does that purposely. Now, does she believe it? No. Why would you marry somebody knowing that in 10 15 years that who cares about your looks? If you married him for love, then looks never was a reason for you to marry him in the first place. Neither was age. Any of that should not be relevant. But the fact that you know that everybody else is looking at you sideways because you are 48 and he is 32, 31.
Yeah,
I think he's somewhere around that. I'm not saying everybody is judging her on that, but I feel like she knows that is something that be in the forefront of people's minds. Why do you think she's retouching her face and making her face as young as she can make it? Yes, she doesn't want to age, but yes, she don't want to be looked at like a double look, like and them be like, oh, look at the mother and son at the table. You know what I'm saying? And it's nobody's business. I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't care because I'm gonna do me at all times. But I'm just saying, I feel like she's always trying to beat people to that. So instead of her waiting for them, she's like puts it out there for them and says it before everybody else. And I don't think she like really believes that. I don't think she married him for him to leave her in 15 years. And just like the girl said, girl, he loves you unconditionally. He will be pushing you around. He will be changing your diapers. He will be feeding you, all that good stuff. Now, maybe that was part. Now, if you want to make a joke, you say that. I marry young so that I can have a young whippersnapper pushing me around, picking me up, giving me my baths and wobble wop. That's how you do it. That's how you tell it.
Yeah, I think I could see that. I could also see like that she did mean it because like more so it was her just kind of keeping it 1,000 and saying that like sometimes people, as much as they say, looks aren't everything, or the physical isn't a lot of what attracted them to a person. Like some people say that, but at the end of the day, like I do feel like at times people are shallow when they say that and say like, oh yeah, looks don't matter at all. Like when I feel like to certain people sometimes, like yes, they very much do, and I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's okay with her saying like, yeah, sometimes you lose an attraction to people, and that might happen. And if it does, like, and I don't look at, like, even in my marriage, I don't look at it like that, but I think it's just like, if, you feel differently, we're both doing this until one of us like wakes up and is like, yeah, maybe this is not, we feel differently or whatever. Like, we do understand that like people do change sometimes. And the person that you signed up to be with forever and ever, sometimes you grow apart from them. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that the relationship failed or that y'all were lying to each other the whole time or nothing like that. It's just sometimes amicably you feel differently. And I think that is just more, that's just more like, I feel like of a mature way of looking at it versus like a insecure way. Honestly, I do.
And Eminem was my first white boyfriend, Auntie Bernice. So I was talking about in the movie, you know what I mean? You know how he went off on about him being white trash and all this other stuff, because that was the whole thing. If you're doing a beef or we got to go against each other, if I talk about myself, I leave you nothing to talk about, and that's what I mean. Don't never think I'm coming from my first white boyfriend.
That's the first white boyfriend.
I mean, yeah.
Just preparing for the worst, you know. Stanbury hides her feelings and fears, but they could. I mean, I don't really like. Again, I don't really look at it as the worst. Like, I look at it like people change sometimes, and what was good 10 years ago, sometimes you might feel differently. Is Judge Mathis not getting a divorce after 39 years? I mean, there are some reasons I think why. But I'm just saying that to say sometimes you're forever after don't always end up forever after, and it's not such a bad thing to say that. It's not that you're saying it, or just like when people don't want to talk about prenups and stuff like that. It's not saying that I hope it fails. It's just life happens. Period. You know, accidentally turned into okay. So I'm actually glad that you said this, because I actually wanted to ask her. Though. I want to ask her, like, or ask them, like, I need to know how they met. Off of, like, was it an app? Was it in the grocery store? Was it like, who pursued who? Like, what were the intentions behind it? Because that'll, I think, give a lot more context that we need. If like just stumbled upon each other and it just happened, then okay, cool. But if she knew dang well that she was out here just looking for a fling, and a lot of her answers, I feel like a lot of times give, yeah, this was a fling that just stuck around. So, yeah.
That's not good. Because Sergio gonna get his little baby heart broke. It's gonna be, oh Lord, it's gonna shatter. Yes, that's true, Barb. But 15 years, they want a whole baby. She down about 15.
They don't want a baby. He wants a baby. She does not want a baby. And that's what I'm saying. I need her to always be 100 about everything instead of only some things. She needs to say, I do not want a baby, not even because of the timeline. She just does not want a baby. Even if they were probably maybe going to be together forever. She still would not want that baby, period.
But you say, I love my life. I
I'm
not mad at none of it.
She's at that age. Like, oldest, she in college. The other two, they can feed, clothe themselves, and get themselves to school probably. So, yeah, she's at that age where you want to start over. It wouldn't be me. And that's okay. But at the same time, she needs to be honest with him if that's the case, because that's not fair.
Let the man go. I mean, not let him go, but yeah, he want to be able to have a baby with somebody else. Oh, that's gonna be so juicy. I just hope we get to see it. And I don't want to make a mockery of their life because it's real life. I'm just saying that I really want to see how this is gonna end up. Are they gonna really have a baby? And when she turned her to Sarah and said, they was all about, yeah, you can be the surrogate. Sarah was like, oh no, I won't be. I was like, I'm done.
I like though Taleen in this moment. I want to say she was the only one that I heard say, I think I wrote it down. Like, everybody was like, oh yeah, like if it's gonna be a surrogate, like do it. Or I heard a lot of people, even Lesa was like, yeah, I mean, like with a surrogate, I hope, you know, it works out or whatever. I want to say Taleen though, she was the only one that I gotta go back and look. Will I? Probably not. She was like, I don't think that she should do it. And I was like, I
didn't hear her. Okay.
Somebody said that. I thought it was Brooks at first, but I believe it was Taleen. And I'm like, I'm glad somebody said that, because I feel like, and it's not to ever rain on your friend's parade, y'all. I would never do that, but you need to be real with your friends at the end of the day. And sometimes you need to tell them that, like, what everybody else is trying to, you know, big up their situation and try to support them and say like, oh my God, yes, like that's wonderful, and say like the nice things or whatever. No, there needs to be a friend there that's real and it's going to say like, girl, we know, I know you do not want a baby, so stop here trying to act like you do or make yourself, act like you do or whatever. Like, no, you don't want a baby. And I'm telling you that because if I sit here and blow smoke up your booty and then in 2 years you're freaking, you ain't got no hair and y'all are divorced and the child is now brought into the world and feels unloved and all this stuff and everything is all upside down and chaos, I'm going to regret not telling you that you shouldn't have had that. Be honest with those friends, for real.
I mean,
I probably said 50 years because he would still be young enough to have a new baby in life with another woman when he's fed up. Yeah, I 100% still raised
15 years
at that. I think we were all like, whoa, we need to talk about this. And even still, I do feel like her saying that, I don't even think he looks at it like that. So I think that they just need to look at things a lot more similar than different in their marriage, I feel like. And right now we're only seeing them look at things differently.
Even in 15 years, he's going to be younger than her at the age she is now. I'm just no shade, no tea. It's just what it is. And men have children for late in life. It's the fact that he wants her to. That's the thing. I don't want them to have children later in life because I don't care. Your sperm is old. Don't play with me. Just like our age, a little older, your sperm be old. Stop.
Do we have a celebrity couple example of like a huge woman being older, man being younger, age gap that worked?
Yeah. Oh, that worked? Ain't Cher and her boyfriend been together for a little minute?
I don't consider that working because I heard some things.
Okay. Yikes. I'm scared.
I can't think of like, obviously we've seen the opposite. Obviously we've seen old men with younger women and stuff like that and whatnot. But I want to say, I can't think of.
She says Sarah Paulson is dating an 80-year-old woman.
She's dating that other actor. They're both actresses. I can't think, but they're not married, but they're in a long-term relationship.
I think no older woman to a younger man. Right. Oh, well, don't work now. But remember Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher?
Oh, they were together. They were
together for a little minute.
Is Jason Momoa a lot younger than
he is younger than Denise Huxtable. No, at least when they were together, he was.
Thank you.
Gabrielle. Okay, yeah. Gabrielle's like my age, and she's like a year younger than me. But yeah, and
I'm gonna think of a really good one probably as soon as we turn this camera off.
Of course.
I just wanted to kind of like just get a visual going of like, I'm not saying it can't work. Like it can. It's just both people's heads have to be in the same space, and right now they got some more work to do. But moving on, y'all. Sarah's love life. So that's really all we really talked about with her too. I didn't know she was divorced twice. Did I? Maybe I did. I don't know. I knew obviously one.
I don't know about the divorce twice. I don't remember that, but you just telling me just like what?
Twice. Okay. That's when they said it. I was like, when Andy said it, I was like, twice? I thought it was once. Anyway, they play her stuff or whatever. She felt like, because Andy asked her, like, what made you feel like you were ready to date or whatever? And she was like, I felt like I was ready because I had been doing, the work to heal all of my traumas, and old boy came into my life and I was in a state of deep healing. So basically his BS just kind of just washed right over her, I guess is how she saw it. She's like, shout outs to the fountain because he was definitely hella thirsty. I was like, well, I could have told you that, Sarah. And apparently it all came down to he cheated. And I was like,
hired a PI?
She hired a detective to freaking find out he was cheating. I was like, I wouldn't have wasted money. You put money behind that. You put money. He already made it so you couldn't even make money, and now you're spending even more money on him.
Honey, he made you from. He stopped you from making 45,000.
Yeah, from 40K plus, and you over here still then now spending even more money on him to figure out if he's cheating. You find out he's cheating, and then everybody's looking at you kind of weird right now because it's like you're talking about cheating. Don't you have to be together to cheat? And she's like, well, we were exclusive. We weren't together, but we were.
You exclusively doing what? Did y'all even kiss? That's none of your business.
That's none of your business.
Ooh, don't be so mad.
That's
just say that means yes, you did.
I be talking about with her right there. She's like his exes even reached out with screenshots and stuff. He was doing whatever he was doing, and she was like, well, I got like he was basically obviously like projecting onto her when he was talking about the whole can't be around guys without their shirts and stuff like that. He was projecting clearly. Yeah. And then we have them talking about when they went to Seychelles, the Seychelles, he was blowing up her phone constantly. And Ayan was even like telling, like even stepped up to be like, yeah, he was like mad rude to you, like like just bad all around.
Then Brick said that he was nice to them, but was rude to her, to Sara.
Yeah.
Like she was like on the phone, he was nice to us. He was rude to her. I said, oh no, that's a telltale sign to move on.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but Sergio, like that's what I'm saying. They need to be on the same page about a lot of other stuff before we even can get down the road into forever afterness with them, because she had to explain like what deal breaker meant because he thought that. Keep in mind, no PI for the Suns.
Woo! Momedia, you got a law. Do you know how to exit? Stay. No, just play. That's a good. Lord have mercy.
I'm so freaking glad you said that because I didn't even think about that. Yes, like you hired a PI to look up this guy when the writings were on the wall the whole time, but I was over here afraid to go to the bathroom, and
that's crazy. Oh my God!
Like, are you serious?
That's so messed up. That's so true. And Lord,
now she was using the gummy. She clearly she was. That's why she'd be trying to deflect every time they ask her something about something. Anyway, yeah, like that's a great point because then we kind of start to get into that. That's what irritated me too, because this is the only little part we got with Sara was about him, which was the most insignificant part of her storyline, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And in the end, all she says is like, basically, I guess, Maktu thankfully is in a better, headspace about the whole nanny situation or whatever. And then that was it. I'm like, so we're not gonna, but then I think about it, actually, Sara didn't really have anything else to give, but I was like, well, then why is she here? Because we didn't even talk about
and the fact that do you regret,
oh yeah,
your son?
No, I don't. I don't. From him, I tell him everything all the time.
Wait, what? Yes, you should, because that boy asked him when was he gonna be his stepfather. Yes, you very much should. Not that you should now learn from that.
He's probably looking at her like an even bigger fool because we already know that he knows everything about her relationships and stuff, and that's a big part of why he was so like standoffish about her dating in the first place, because he's seen her be mistreated before. So now he's even gonna feel those feelings even more now that you're still picking wrong people, Mom. Like,
oh, what do you think about when Sara told Brooks? Because remember, she was like, oh, yeah, he was nice to us. Sarah's like, oh, yeah, he was nice to you. You told him he was hot. I said, oh. When did I say that? I didn't say that. I didn't tell him that. Well, we heard you say he was hot in your confession. I don't know. She said, no, you did say it. And then she said, I never told him that on the phone. I never said that. So I don't know if when she said that, did Sara mean you said it in the confessional when we all heard her say that Akin was hot? Or is she just saying it that she might have said it? I can't see her saying that on the phone with him like, oh, you're hot. That just don't even sound right. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's weird. But I mean, I don't feel like it's weird. Obviously, I think we've all obviously back in the day with us, but obviously like you like, hey, it's my new boo. Like, oh, he's cute. Like I don't feel like that's weird if you say it like in that exchange. But yeah, if you're over here like, he's hot, like, hey, like then like that's
she did that. But that's the feeling I got when she said in the conventional. She said it like that, like, Ken is hot. Like, okay, so you know, I didn't. I didn't get a friendly.
For me, that's different than me thinking like, oh, he's cute for you. He's hot for you. Like, okay, like I see you out here versus like, oh, okay. Let me well, if you don't freaking take him around the block, I'll definitely take
that's the feeling I got from Brooks. I'm sorry if it wasn't true, Brooks, and you watch us or somebody watches this and send it to you. Please don't take it to the heart, girl. I'm just saying it don't seem like that's how you was second. It seemed like you was like, oh, he cute, he real cute. Like I would get with him. He got a brother, like that kind of thing.
You would prefer somebody else other than Sara to be the to be the freaking the cultural representative? Is that what you're saying? I can't disagree, because in this moment when we just went over her situation and that's all it was, I was just like because when you look at it, everybody else got negative and positive. Everybody else got called out for something that they did or whatever. Sara just got a couple good things said to her, I feel like, and that was it. She didn't get her feet held to the fire about anything. And maybe it's because I don't know. Like that means that she walked the tightrope. She wasn't dynamic enough character to me then, because you should come to the reunion and you get good and bad. No, yes. She didn't get anything. She just got 5 words.
They call that growth, right? That's growth. Good, bad, and then you grow and then you move on. That's what you call growth.
Oh yeah, I say that all the time. That is my for him. I'm actually, that's probably the only thing I will miss about this right now is saying human backpack.
I mean, she don't even call him Sergio. She'd be like, yes, Stanbury came in with her human backpack. Woo wop. I was like,
and did I told you she lost like Amelia Earhart, and she's the female who's male centered and always needs a man in her life. She's there, be 24/7. Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, I think
Sara. Y'all talking about Sara?
Not money hungry. Yes, Sara gives man hungry a little bit more than she puts on, is what I get. She definitely does, and I feel like she goes off of looks and instead of going off of substance and quality, and she's led up the wrong path every time.
Absolutely.
For the wrong reasons, obviously, because she kept him around. Why? Because of his good looks, clearly. Because you're not allowed to mistreat me after being mistreated so much so by not one but 2 ex-husbands and a slew of other people. Probably you think that you gonna come in here and mistreat me and on TV?
My thing is, you have friends. You go to the spiritual readers, and these are your friends. And why don't you have your spiritual friends hook you up with somebody that's spiritual like you? Like, that sits on the same kind of meeting. I like to meditate. I want to have the incense burning. Why don't you let them hook you up with somebody? No storyline, no big event like Mina Rose spy. Not even her parents came on the show again. Her friend Saba did more than Sara, but I don't care. Okay, y'all can bring Nina back for all we care. You could have brought Nina back.
Just saying, yeah,
I would. That's definitely true.
Like, I want to like Sara, y'all. Like, I don't dislike her, but it's just like I gotta.
Yeah, give us something.
We're scrutinizing it, so I have to. She just didn't give as much as everybody else, and she only is saved because she gives us those cultural insights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad, Saba, I guess I'll say it now here. When I tell you, even though Saba I have my things with her. And if y'all been down here every week, y'all know what it is. At the same time, though, there was a couple of, like, not even about the things she said during the season as much as why wasn't she brought up at all? And the fact that I know they fell out in between this time. So why didn't Andy ask about the fallout?
How's Saba doing? Where's Saba at? Why wouldn't y'all even bring her on? That just is don't even make sense.
Negative. So why didn't anybody ask? Why didn't they ask her that?
That's so true. I didn't think about that. We didn't even bring Saba up at all, as if she wasn't on the show at all. That is her negative. Why y'all fell out? Why y'all not talking? What happened? Oh, they did us a disservice. Okay.
Yeah. I
They
like
did us a this story.
I don't mind pretty boring folks, but this ain't old school ATL. This cast ain't strong enough for boring folks, or they will get canceled. It's not. This is not a strong enough standalone show yet for them to have wallflowers. It's not. They needed Saba there to call out Sara, especially her one-sided. Yeah, I'm like, was she not invited, or was she not able to? They're obviously in New York, and that's not a small trek, so maybe she wasn't able to coordinate to go. But yeah, why was
They did that to Salt Lake City with Mary last season too.
I'm DMing her. It's fine. I'm DMing her as soon as I get off here. Actually,
Let's do that.
We might have to give Saba an interview.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to give her an interview ourselves and find out, get to the bottom of the line of ourselves.
Yeah, what's the real tea? So y'all, I think this is like pretty much the end of it.
Oh yeah, that's what I put. So we finally get the knit and grit of Ayan and Lesa, who aren't friends anymore.
By way of this anonymous voice note. But it was, I will say, this kind of was like, okay, how we
this one had started giving. I said, y'all should have led with this. Mm-hmm. But Rihanna, never mind. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So then we get Andy asks Lesa if there were any issues in their friendship prior to Bali, because it just, it seemed like there were, obviously, like y'all were super solid, and then like where did we start to go left? And Lisa's like, basically, Ayan is like family to me, but however, like I started to feel a little weird when I asked her, like, being as though Rihanna follows her on Instagram or whatever, I asked her to DM Rihanna and be like, my girl, maternity wear line or whatever, and basically put her on, with Lisa's line or whatever, make that connection. And Ayan, her side of things was like, okay, well, first of all, yeah, we talked about that, but then like the first thing I know, as soon as we start filming, I walk onto the screen and that's the first thing you hit me with. And it's just like, girl, I didn't even clear it through Rihanna that, like, one, I'm even going to bring this up in general on camera, and two, like, I can't, like, what do I look like? I went to Rihanna to be like, hey girl, I'm about to launch a beauty line. What do you y'all need comments. I'm about to launch this beauty line. Like, you got any tips, pointers, like whatever? And Rihanna was like, girl, I got you, whatever you need. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. And so again, yeah, that's their both renditions of the story, basically. And then Ayan's like, her main thing was things started to be kind of weird in the Kool-Aid, like from there. And Lisa's like, that was day one. And they're both like, yeah, like that was literally day one. What did you think of that? Like, who do you feel like was telling the truth in that situation, or right or wrong with that?
I believe Ayan, because I feel like this whole time it's starting to seep out just a little bit that Lesa might be doing the same thing that Taleen is accusing Brooks of doing, which is kind of like telling you what to say without telling you what to say, or telling you how to act on camera, or what you should bring up or what you should not bring up. And definitely don't clown me on the camera, but not like I'm telling you in this way. Barb, don't clown me on camera. When we come up on this YouTube thing, but this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna keep it copacetic. Don't ask me this, don't say that, don't do this. Now we get up here and now you're supposed to remember everything I just told you, and then I'm supposed to act normal. We're both supposed to act normal. That's not likely to happen. So I do think that Lesa was telling Ayan how to act and what to do and how to say, because she know Ayan is kind of, no disrespect, Ayan, I like you, but you're kind of simple-minded when it comes to things, or you can't be bombarded with a lot of things. Going back to, you can't drive because it's too many things going on at one time. You can't take a lot of things. You're not a multitasker. That's the word. So with that being said, I feel like Lesa used that to her advantage. Yes, that's your best friend. Ayan's gonna listen to you. Ayan pretty much worships the ground you kind of walk on and values your opinion. So she's gonna make sure she doesn't do anything to offset you And that's how we watch Ayan move. That's why we think Ayan is so off the hinges, because at one time we get her having fun with everybody, and then she get around Lesa and she turns into a Lesa cheerleader. And when Lesa talks, then she speaks. And then, then it's oh wait, Lisa's talking, I can talk now. Like it's a weird dynamic. So I believe Ayan. I say all that.
But could it be also on the flip side? Could you look at it like, could this potentially be a show of like Ayan, and more so just about like maybe the Rihanna piece? Is this a show of like maybe Ayan wanting to be like in certain people's good graces or kiss up to, because that's, I feel like some of what people say about how she's going after wanting this friendship with Stanbury so much, because she sees her as like the holy grail housewife person to be, buddy buddies with. Maybe she's having that same thing in this situation with Rihanna, where she's like, she didn't want to put her on because like she wanted to have all of that connection just for herself type of stuff.
No, I don't see that with Ayan. Ayan loves her sister, and I know that's her sister, but I'm saying it to say like she's not an only child. She doesn't have the only child syndrome. She is compassionate with other women. Even when we see her talk to the first makeup artist, I can't think of her name. Forgive me for not remembering. What is it?
Tony Malt.
Yes, Tony. So, we see her, how she is with Tony. We see how she is, period. Like we don't, it's not the only gimmick that I see, and it's not even a gimmick. We can also know now, Ayan has said this. Why did she dress over the top? Because it's the way it makes her feel. Okay, so there's no question no more. I won't have to question it. I always wonder, why are you dressing the way you dress during the time that you're dressing? But if that's how you want to feel, that make you feel good, then I can't hate on that. Because I don't like to walk out the house ugly either. That's just how I've been as a kid. Since I was a kid, I just like to be presentable. That's just how I was and how I am. I don't care if I'm just going to the liquor store. Because I'm a stylist and stuff, I just never did that. I needed to be presentable and look a certain kind of way at all times. I never know what I'm running to. Or if I leave from that liquor store and somebody say, let's go here, and I'm able to go, I'm gonna be able to go. So that's how I am. But getting back to Ayan, the fact that she dresses over the top and that makes her feel good, good. Now I know that's you. I just feel, I can see what you're saying. I do still think that Lesa had an agenda, and I do feel like Ayan was right telling her, like, I hadn't even cleared it with Rihanna yet. Like, I had literally just told you the good news, and it's like, you're gonna turn around and hold my feet to the fire, like you want to use me for Rihanna's hookup. Like, that looked the other way around for me.
I feel like both of them, like, although I'm still 10 toes down on, I feel like both of them in certain aspects are full of it with this situation. I will say the one thing that is undeniable is that, yeah, you can't, that's weird that you would even think, especially because Lesa, she's talking about branding and all this stuff. Like, clearly she knows how business things work and networking. Like, she knows how stuff works. So I don't know why she would think that that would be normal for Ayan to be like, hey, by the way, my best friend, like, I would, and it's not even because I don't want my best friend's business to flourish, but I just wouldn't, like, I wouldn't feel comfortable just plugging you right in there like that.
Let me get plugged in
from the get-go. Like, this is Rihanna. Like, what? And then furthermore, I didn't, again, talk like that could be looked at as though I'm trying to like clout chase or like trying to like, oh yeah, I know Rihanna or whatever. Now that we're up here talking about it on Housewives, and that might look weird and then make her not even want to mess with me anymore because she maybe thinks that I'm trying to get, some, clout off of her or something. Like, that's it. I feel like Lesa should have understood that. Like, why would I wouldn't even ask my friend to do that. Right. Like,
so you think Lesa was in the wrong in this instance? Or
I think that she shouldn't have asked her that, and she shouldn't have expected her to do that. But at the same time, no, I even know if that's what it happened though? I don't know.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay. I was just trying to figure out what was the flip side of what you were saying to me. But that's what do you believe Ayan when she said this?
Yeah, or Lesa in this situation, but the only thing I can say with my full chest is that, yeah, no one should be just DMing Rihanna like, hey, like, no. It's a language barrier with Ayan, and Lesa took advantage. So she would, yeah, I do think in certain cases, I think this too, but then on certain cases, I also think, or I wanted to think, I should say, that Lesa was doing it to not have Ayan out here, you know, I guess for lack of a better phrase, embarrassing herself, or, you know, she was trying to make her, you know, be looked at in the best light at all times. And I think I said this last week when I said it's cool when you do that, but at the same time, Lesa, I feel like, holds herself in such a perfect, like, picture perfect. Everything in my life has to be perfect. I need to be the best wife. I need to be the best friend. I need to be the best mother. I need to be the best housewife. I need to be like, she just is so just hard on herself, I feel like, about everything, that it's just like, that's, you talk about premature wrinkles, like, girl, like, you need to, like, let up off that. And I feel like at times maybe it was a little bit of that, where she was just holding herself such to a high standard that she also was doing that to Ayan and making sure, like, okay, we need to always be showing up the best of the best at all times. And that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for saying this. Ayan is jealous of Lisa's money, low key. The bragging comment. While Lesa is jealous of Ayan's breakout fame, low key trying to control her image and proximity. I'm going to start this because I like how you just broke that down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Both. That's why I keep saying I can't come to a stopping point of this one was ultimately more wrong than this one, because there's something not cool on both sides.
Because when we get to the very end in that last segment, there is something that's why you could ask me that and why you can feel that way. And I just thought about it, but okay. But even if Lesa had asked, Ayan could have said no.
But at the same time, she did say no. We got to switch back over here and say those are the moments where maybe then Lesa or Ayan always felt like she said it, and I can understand that if that's the case, that she was always trying to not disappoint Lesa or not
walking on eggshells.
Walking on eggshells with Lesa all times of the day. So maybe that was a show of this as well, where she was like, I don't want to tell her no, because then she's gonna maybe think that this or that, and then God forbid she sees me at lunch with Stanbury, and like, it's just it's a lot.
I do feel like that it is that I don't know. I just kind of believe Ayan in this instance. I always feel like she pledged the allegiance to Lesa more than Lesa did it to her. But it could have been just the dynamic of their friendship, and that's just how it's always been, you know. Not really for sure.
Unfortunately, we will never see because we're on this side of the camera. But back to the voice note. Yes. Did know about the voice note prior to dinner. Ayan is continuously saying she knew, Lesa knew. Andy, ask production, did Lesa know? We got Sara over here talking about, well, Lesa, when I told you that you knew, what did Sara say? When she mentioned to her that she knew about the voice note prior to dinner, Lesa said she didn't. And then she turns around and producer said, girl, yes, you did. And then finally they buzz Andy and they're like, yeah, Lesa did know about that prior to dinner. And then Ayan jumps up and she's like, you know, obviously vindicated in the moment. And I know how I look at it, but obviously I'll throw it out to all of y'all. Like, how did you look at that? Do you feel like Lesa did know or didn't know? Because then Lesa goes on to say, Ayan knew about it as they were walking to dinner. She was freaking out, saying Stanbury was going to play something. And that's kind of like all Lesa knew, according to Lesa. What do we think about that, y'all?
Again, I do think that Lesa knew. I do think that Lesa knew, because the reaction Ayan gave her at the table when she kept saying, you know, I could never trust you. I could never trust you again. And she looking at her like, what do you mean? Because trust me, I like, she's not gonna say it on camera because again, she's walking on eggshells. She know they're in front of the camera. She don't want to bust everybody out. You know this about her, so you're sitting here. You should get the look on her face again, like, Lesa, seriously, I get it, and you can even tell when Stanberry starts off by saying it. Ayan says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Lesa. I'm sorry, Lesa. I threw you under the bus." Da, 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 da. And then it was almost like she could have told her then the whole thing if it was going to be a real breakdown. She had no idea. I believe Ayan would have been like, girl, let me tell you real quick because I don't want you to be mad, girl. Let me tell you that I showed her the voicemail and this what happened. She's about to tell it right now, but girl, this what happened. Like, she would have told her right then, like literally right then, because that's the type of person Ayan is to Lesa. I told you she pledged allegiance to Lesa, very different than Lesa pledged allegiance. Not just say pledge allegiance, but has an allegiance with her. Like it's a different dynamic. One looks like, to me, Lesa looks like she runs Ayan, and Ayan just like, okay, what you want me to do now? Okay, we mad at Stanbury? Okay, we're gonna be mad at her. We're gonna do that. All right, like that's what I look at Ayan. Hey, my baby Jackie, how are you, my love?
I don't. Lesa didn't believe what she was talking about. Lesa internal fight with herself is the reason she will always lose in interpersonal relationships. Yeah, she's showing up weird. She's showing up weird. I mean, a couple people are showing up weird, but Lisa's definitely one of them. I'm like, so what is the problem? Is the whole time I'm trying to figure out, like, huh? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
like so far from the origin of the problem that I'm like, how do we get here?
Now we're feeling like Andy.
I thought it was Lesa knew Ayan showed the girls, but not her enemy.
All of it just don't make sense.
With everything Stanbury does over that S, I don't know what that would mean. I'm trying to sound it out. All this time later, yeah. Yeah, she does. Lesa does, and I feel like she goes out of her way to do it in a way that like it makes her then look bad. Versus these housewives, you always have to master the art of making the other side look bad without getting your hands clean, is what I've been saying. And this particular cast, they haven't all figured that out, how to make it so they don't, look bad, if that makes sense.
What's up, Jonathan? How are you today?
Lady of the night. Okay.
Ladies of the night. Oh, hey, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I do. So, do you think that she knew about the voicemail before she got to the thing? And her,
I think we're talking about things. Like, I think that no, it's like Lesa, like you did know, versus like the way that when the camera came in her face and you're like, that's so messed up. Like, you did know prior to sitting down there, but I think Lesa was more so talking about she didn't know like when it happened, or like closer to when it happened, or prior to like that day. I think they were playing some semantics type of game a little bit, if that makes sense. And I think they were talking about two different things, and it just got really messy and confusing, and it only made Lesa look bad because she's like, I didn't know, but producers are literally saying you did. And it's just like, she should have explained it differently. Like, yeah, I knew that something was up, but maybe I didn't know the full story, or maybe I didn't know prior to that day or something. She just explained it really weird for me, and it made her look like, yeah, she was lying.
I'm gonna go with she was lying for 200, Alex.
Why are you lying?
No, I mean, that's what it looked like to me. I don't know. I just on this one again, I'm gonna side with Ayan. Like, I do believe that's why Ayan was so upset that she got mad at her. Even the cry, even the F you, even get out my room and all that came from, that didn't go that deep until it looked like you lied on her. And once you lied on her, it made sense for her to be that upset, because I was still trying to figure out, hey, she went all the way in, and then she told her, F, get away, get out of my room. So it's like, ain't nobody getting that mad when you literally telling me you don't trust me when I told you before the end. I mean, why you fronting me in front of these girls talking about you don't trust me when I talked to you already? That's what it looked like.
Or it's this, and they're playing us all.
Come on.
Because, and I felt like that, and we're gonna get into that. Let's hurry up and I want to
end with this. Okay.
Gotta get out of here, and I want to check Twitter real quick before we do that. I do feel a little played because there were some reconciliations and some
come on now.
It makes me look like, and if that's the case, then just say that instead of y'all could have not played in our faces and still gave a good season. Like, whatever. She said she knew half an hour before that when everyone said you knew, stop playing dumb. That's what I mean. I feel like Lesa should have said, yeah, no, I knew a half an hour before, but I didn't know before that. Like,
but that's what she meant. She said they were walking up and she told her. Like, that's literally what Ayan told her. No, because we were walking up and I told you. And now 5 minutes, 30 minutes into this scene, let's say it was 30 minutes into the scene. I just told you
about the same thing. I think they're like,
it's okay.
It's like a no to her. It's like, no, I should have known maybe like 5 minutes after you did it type of stuff versus all the way until now. Until basically she's only knowing now because Stanberry's about to bring it up. It's like if Stanberry was going to bring it up, you weren't going to tell me. So I think that's how Lesa at it versus everybody else is like, girl, what do you mean? We talked about it 30 minutes ago. She's like, no, but that doesn't count. Like, I should have known about it closer to when it happened, not all this time passed in between.
Got it. It's what Jonathan said.
That's what it's looking like because I couldn't even I was over it. Whatever. Brooke's eyes got big because her and Lesa not even real friends like that, and she was like, "Ooh, that's weird." And then I think Brooks did jump in, and she kind of tried to clarify it. And I like what Stanbury said this moment. She's like, whenever I look back on the season, I see, Ayan, she's always asking about how your family is, how this is, what you got going on, or whatever. And that energy is never reciprocated. And I was like, I mean, they just haven't been in such a good place in so long that I can't even think of like when it was reciprocated or it wasn't. Like, I just feel like it's always, they're not ever talking about their friendship as much as they're always talking about some drama in the group and in general. But I did like that she even said that. And I don't even think Lesa really had a response to that if I remember correctly.
I don't think she did either. Because you should have been able to. It's like, girl, I ask about her all the time. I asked about Taj. I asked about her husband. I asked about her cosmetic line. I know I don't have to ask because I know. That's the response you would get if that was the truth.
I don't care about the unseen conversation between Stanbury's parents and the whole house. Yes. I don't want to talk. I just don't. I don't want to talk about you. They're not buying her parents' house, and it is what it is. But I do want to pinpoint how, and I only want to pinpoint this because I said it last week. Like, I think a huge part of why Ayan was so hurt about the fallout between them is because her son was there. And she even said that here. She was like, I think she said he had been being bullied and stuff, or he was just not in a bad space. He was in a bad space mentally, I guess, right there. So she asked the girl, she was like, hey, basically, does anybody have anything they want to hash out with me before we get down there? Because I want it to be a safe space because I'm bringing my son here. And I feel like that's fair. And everybody, I guess it was a speak now or forever hold your peace type of a situation. And nobody said anything. So for them to only get there and for it to turn out the way it did, she was very upset about that. But then you have Lesa over here talking about, well, girl, I get it. But at the end of the day, like, you also played a part in how it all, occurred and how you were left to be embarrassed. You kind of embarrassed yourself, basically, is what Lesa was saying. And I was like, two things can be true at the same time. How did you feel about that?
I feel like if she had, there was a couple of things that was going on. The fact that she said that Lesa said that, no, you didn't have to tell, you didn't tell me. She's like, yeah, I did. Right. You didn't tell me because no, she's like, I put y'all in a group text. What are you talking about? So then I was like, if it's a group text and it's in there, you didn't see it, or maybe you didn't read the group text. I don't know. I just like, even if she did, why would you in any term do that? Embarrass her, have a scene with her. And what was Lesa's rebuttal? Well, my in-laws were there, so I wasn't trying to. Yes, you were. I just feel like you were. I feel like you were trying to get next to Andy. Like she said, you was trying to have a moment so you can sit next to Andy. That was funny.
I know.
She is literally really harmless when you really come down to it. But she's definitely gonna have to read a book or two to figure it out.
I don't know. I don't know if I can fully say she's harmless and sweet, because there were several times in the season where she had her hand in that pot stirring up between some of the other ladies. That's what I'm saying. I can say it now because we're almost at the end. I'm still looking at everybody sideways. I don't believe anybody. And, like, literally, Sara, Taleen, Saba wasn't even there. I don't believe her. Let me not say that. Freaking the Stanbury. I don't believe anybody. We're starting over. We're starting over from scratch next time, because all you guys have proven to be, there's inconsistencies in everybody's story.
I agree with what Bernice just said.
My sister, you don't tell me nothing about nothing between us, but she was silent. You said this one, in that moment, Lesa proved that she was not Ayan's friend. Wait.
In the moment where, okay, so when you find out, there's two things that she said. She said, no, I wasn't told. I wasn't told. Then she said, well, I don't need to be told because I'm her friend, so I already knew not to act like that. I'm like, so why'd you show your ass then? Either way, if being told or not being told, you still did it. You still did it with her. You did, because you was clowning her, didn't want to talk to her, then was like, no, I was just, then tried to talking about somebody playing a victim. No, I just didn't want to talk in that moment. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said, I ain't talking to you. Standing in between two men, like, girl, and I'm not moving away from this spot right here. That's your prerogative, but don't act like you was not acting towards your friend. And just like Auntie Bernice said, in that moment is when Ayan should have been like, yeah, I got your number. I see how you doing me. And then don't speak to her, but she let her. That's the thing. Ayan lets her get under her skin every time. She showed it in this, at the beginning of this one. Like, stop letting that girl get under your skin. She used the word victim. Just let her use it. Girl, I'll be like, victim, victim, victim. Girl, okay, I'm a victim. Sure I am.
Lesa walked in there. She walked in there saying, she did. Like, instead of just being honest that, like, everybody wants to act like they're not bothered by somebody else being friends with somebody else in the group, when all of them be bothered by it. Like, they all be bothered by them being friends, even though you're supposed to be on here and be friends with everybody. Anyway, but at the same time, again, I feel like in that situation, Lesa could have handled herself differently, but also in that situation, Ayan, once she saw what type of time Lesa was on, it was her job to be like, my son is here. Let me just disengage fully. Actually, I should have asked Lesa to get the out of there and leave.
Come on now.
That's what I would have did, because you've proven that you're not really my friend for real. Your energy, I'm huge on energies and all that. So as soon as I got that that's your vibe, security, can you valet, can y'all pull their car up? They have to leave because it's not working. That's what should have happened, and it could have just mitigated that whole entire thing.
Then we would have got Lesa saying, "Well, I've been thrown out of better places." Yeah, you have, and this probably won't be the last place you've been thrown out of. Go on, you got to learn how to. Well, maybe if we get another season, Ayan will have a backbone for Lesa, because that's who she need. One, she had it for everybody else. Lesa said multiple times at that event
I believe that. But I still feel like her energy was just stank when she walked in there talking about, I ain't kissing hands, I ain't doing this. They played the video. She was all like, wow, I'm not gonna get that 5 minutes back. Where's the food? Ugh. Oh, what did she say? She's like, after the video, she was like, get good, buckle up, or whatever she said, whatever that statement was. And she was like, because she's about to, basically stuff is about to go left with Stanbury, so get ready or whatever, because I'm a laugh.
Oh yeah.
Whatever she said, she was on some mean jealous stuff when she walked in there.
Yeah, and the ride that she about to be on.
Ayan's problem, I feel like, at that point was the fact that she didn't realize this and do something about it. She should have checked in that moment. She really only be mad at herself beyond that point, because she could have nipped it in the bud, if you ask me. Just saying.
Use that. Yeah.
He says acting or is edited real guilty, because how couldn't she expect? I don't know. Oh, actually, I'm glad you said that, because I mean, didn't we learn earlier on in the season that Lesa production, I don't know if she pissed somebody off or what, because they had all of her bad moments ready to roll when they were talking about how she wasn't like the best friend to Ayan, and they played all those clips. I want to say last episode or so. I don't know who Lesa pissed off. Her not Stanbury is causing her so much, and I hate it for her. Even if you're not going to forgive her, you have good reasons so you don't show up. Yeah. Lisa needs to rewrite her narrative right now because she's looking real like villainish. And again, I feel like she has her issues, but everybody else has their issues too, and she's not doing her part in recreating like her or repainting her own narrative image. I should say image. Actions speak louder than words. Lisa's actions were speaking volumes. Yeah, it was weird.
Very.
FUB, what? I was confused by that part. The last 10 minutes, not gonna lie, I was like kind of checked out because then they started to say, yeah, how Lisa's in-laws were there, and I guess Andy tries to like come to some common ground, but then Lisa says something about Ayan said that she wanted her 10 feet under or 6 feet under. I said 10 feet under, 6 feet under, and F that B. Like, I was confused. How did we
I don't know what I don't
lost.
Literally, that's how I'm looking at my thing. I want like a
shame on you, Taleen. What? I was Brooks for being a starter. I was like, how did we get here? Because she had her on speaker or something. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care. Because they're lying. Y'all are all lying. And Ayan, it ends with Ayan saying like she's never been mean to Lesa. And then we got Andy trying to reconcile, get them to, some reconciliation going again. Lesa wasn't really buying it, nor was Ayan. But then Ayan, I guess you would say, casts the first olive branch, and she's like, I'm gonna try to like, I don't want to leave it right here. Didn't come all the way to leave it right here. He's like, well, we'll speak up what you gotta say. And Ayan's like, we've been friends for 8 years. I miss the kids. I miss being around. We just need to go and have some coffee and, just figure it out from there. So my door is open. And Lesa, she tried to like kind of be like hard also a little bit at first. And she's like, we do have work to do. Maybe we need to go to therapy. Glances over at Sara. And she's like, yeah, my door is open too. And Andy takes it as a sign of optimism. Thank goodness. And then they do this whole gift exchange thing, which was funny, cute, whatever. At least they were, I guess, able to end on a cute enough, funny enough moment. And then that was also coupled with Sara saying some, I guess, words of encouragement in the end. So Brooks gave Ayan a sparkly tumbler, which she says, she's like, thank you, you fucking bitch.
Good, because to me, it was like when you tell somebody, because you're always thirsty. I beg your pardon.
I loved it.
I love the gift, but she said that earlier and was not being nice about it. When she was like, remember, she was like, oh, I need some water. I'm thirsty. She was like, yeah, you are. So yeah, she be shady. She be shady. She do.
Did I just delete my note? I think I did, but I still have it on my phone. She gave her that, which I mean, I feel like that was, I mean, it was funny. It really was funny, but I wouldn't expect anything less. Ayan gives Lesa a gallon of water, and I was just like, that pissed me off.
Because she would have to walk so many kilometers.
That was a chance for her to bring it together. Not, I would have been irritated because I like a gift. I do like gifts.
Yeah, we do. We love to make a little gift.
Water, like that's what.
And then it wasn't even no good water. It was in the milk gallon water. Not no disrespect to that. I'm just saying.
Goodbye.
Give me some smart water. Give me some essential water. Give me some alkaline water. Like, give me some good water.
Not that wrong. Yes, and it's when Lesa and I watched the Peacock version.
I watched the Peacock version too.
Lesa, whenever she says the B word or whenever she says certain things, it just, because of her accent, I guess, it just sounds like way worse than it does for some reason. She pronounces like every syllable in the word and just girl, what? I think Ayan Brooks had her on speaker and was happy to tell Sara she did it because yeah, it was something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what it was. They were on speakerphone. She's telling what Brooks did was make her reiterate. She was like, because we're talking about Ayan. You're not gonna be able to call me and then make me reiterate what I already knew with you. So you said you said FUB, or you said you want that girl to be good this way and want 6 people to carry her. Then that's what you want.
I love that y'all are saying all my thoughts in these comments right now. That this Ayan was smart because she could have made it shadier since I was over it. Then we got again the pants. Sara gave Taleen the panties, which I'm like, even though that was kind of a gag gift, I thought that was kind of cute.
That's smart because she didn't want to have the JJ gate, so that made sense.
That was cute.
Yeah,
that made sense. Stanbury gave them all T-shirts, and then she gave Sara ventriloquist. I thought that was kind of cute too, because I would probably keep that, even though those are kind of weird.
I wouldn't have wanted that. Just give me one that you put your hand in, and we can just talk with the puppet. I didn't need you to go get me the scariest looking dummy. I don't want that. Who's putting that? I don't want it in my closet because I don't want to open my closet and he be sitting in there. Like, I don't want him around me.
I've been on these TikTok rabbit holes about paranormal things, and a story about a ventriloquist that I read 2 nights ago. Anyway, Lesa makes Stanbury the president of her fan club and gives her like a whole starter pack and ID. It was stupid, but I mean, even that I still was kind of like, oh, okay, like it was a little funny. Okay, I'll give it to you.
I mean, the picture she put up wasn't funny, but never mind.
It wasn't.
I'm not laughing, but you know what? Stanbury took it all in stride. She took it with a grain of salt.
That's something that I honestly feel like you guys can't say. Like, she never is really like the sore loser. Even when they do be giving her the blues, she kind of is just like,
she don't react. She responds. She don't react, and I'm learning.
She'll be like, fuck you guys. I'm going home. Bye. Which is what I would do too. But I don't need to be here, y'all. Anyway, and then we have, last but not least, we have freaking Taleen gives Brooks, she has the special box and she's like, there's a note, whatever. And Brooks is like, you know what? And she was already over it as soon as she like got it and stuff. And she's like, I'm not reading that, whatever. And I don't have a picture, but y'all, I feel like Taleen's receipts were like some of the only receipts that really landed. Bada bing, bada boom. And it was, she had the cardboard cutouts of it too. It was a dress. It was this emerald green dress. And we have the picture proof of freaking Brooks in said dress last season. And this was only one example because she was like, that was only one example because you only said one. So, and I was like, I can't be mad at that.
I hate scary movies, just so you know.
I
hate scary movies because I have watched too many, and I don't watch them anymore because I carry them with me because, you know, my spirit don't like it, and that's okay. Yeah, all my kids love scary movies. I'm just not. That's not me. And you're right. I just watch too many things that, like she just said, the paranormal stuff, and I like criminal TV too. I love that stuff. But yeah, no, I don't want to. I just no. I don't. You can't tell me that one was not funny or scary looking. It wasn't like, you know, he was cute. He looked scary. That one did look scary. That ventriloquist, that dummy looked scary to me than when she bought her. I wish they were cast. They cast to realize this is TV and move on. Every reunion, health, hella fake the funk until you a new season reason to be mad next year. That's what I always thought we should be doing. I used to tell my husband this because he used to watch reality. I mean, Housewives when it first came on with me. He used to watch it with me. He like probably fell out maybe after season 3 or so of like all of them. He was over loving hip hop, all that stuff. You know, when everybody was watching it, it was something to watch. And then he was like, no, they just being stupid. Now, I told my husband then, like, this is a guilty pleasure. I do like it. But I also like to see a resolve. I do. I like to see a little conflict. I like to see, you know, who's right and wrong, whose side I'm gonna take, and then see who's gonna be the first person to right their wrongs, or if it's going to be both of them, and then what was the learning lesson. And then, you know, if it comes up in my life or in my friend's life or someone I know, and I do clients, I'm a stylist, so I do a lot of people hair, and I'm my own therapist as it is. It just, I feel like I've learned a lot from these shows. So with that, that's why I watch them. And when I don't get a resolve, or I get the same thing and y'all have not did nothing different, yes, it's stupid at this point. Like, why am I watching? I'm starting to feel like my husband. So I kind of agree with you on that. I need a resolve. I need something else. What you got for us, sister? Let me pull my screen up.
Nobody really said anything. I was just, except for, I guess, Brooks maybe.
Oh, this is on live from last night.
First of all, she's shouting, Brooks shouting out Saba. I guess she has the new caviar line, and she says it's one of the best caviars on the market. Look at her. Well, who said Brooks don't support other businesses? Look at her. Don't we love to see it? I'm sleepy. Oh, I forgot to say that. What did you guys catch when Brooks was like, I'm getting sleepy on the couch?
Oh my. Yes, I did catch that. I was like, girl, bye. Wait, so but Caroline is friends with Sara. Sara and Saba are not friends no more. And
I don't think.
And now,
so and Sara aren't friends anymore. No.
Yeah. Think. So
where's that other message? The one I sent you the other day.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were going to look for. I knew that what you were going to look for.
Did she delete it? Because I think she might have deleted it. Basically, y'all, to summarize it, because we got to get out of here. Basically, Taleen and Brooks and Rafi, they've decided to move on and I guess start anew, if you will. And I know this because I saw it and the camera's gonna freaking blur it out if I show it because it's green.
It says, oh, I have it right here. Can you read it? You get
yeah. So I don't know if Rafi had I don't know where the screenshot had came from, but basically it said, Brooks said, this guy has been a friend of mine for years. Although I don't agree with the way he handled himself with me during the argument I had with Taleen, I don't think he deserves the amount of hate he's getting. I'm not in a good place with his wife, but Raf is like a brother to me. He's my guy. I miss him, and I'm sad that he's sad about the whole situation. I've moved past it, and he and I are in a better place. I encourage the viewers to move past it and move on. I don't feel the need to add fuel to the fire and discuss every last detail of what happened, but in my heart, I believe Rafi would never want to harm me. Season 2 is just about over, and we are on to the healing and repairing of our friendships. One thing that the world doesn't know is the actual amount of love some of us have for each other. And that's where the anger and passion comes from. It's love and hurt. Rafi, Taleen, and myself have our own healing journey we have to embark on. As longtime friends, we owe each other a second chance. Rafi, I want the world to know you're a good guy. Like Bravo Andy said, you're my buddy, and we can get through this bump in our friendship. See you this weekend. Thank you, B-Scope TV, for mediating this and seeing that we all hear each other out and reminding us of who we are in the show and history of this friendship. Love you so much, Sean. I feel like we met him last season. So yeah, y'all. I was annoyed when I first read that, and it wasn't again because I want there to be discourse between the ladies, but it was more of just like, are you serious? So like, what was the point of, like, because it was such a major point of this season, and it's just like, it seems like y'all could have just made up on in front of us on TV then, if that's the case. Like, it shouldn't have came down to you guys making up off screen, because then it's going to make us viewers look like this was just done just to do.
That's exactly what it looks like. It felt like you guys took this all the way through the reunion as if y'all couldn't get a resolve. Y'all kept it going. I didn't like the fact that Brooks had walked away when they was even arguing when she went back to Lisa's room. It was like, girl, why are you even going back there? If y'all trying to talk or y'all trying to resolve, then resolve it. And so just to get to this end right here, for y'all to say, you know what, we value our friendship, so we're gonna take this. This is what we're gonna do. We know she supports other businesses, the African hair ladies. She just don't promote them. You know what? You never lie, my media.
Get in the corner. You gotta get in the corner, Momita, because yeah, exactly. We know she be supporting businesses. It's just not anybody on this cast.
Wild. You said that right.
God, that's funny.
So are they saying they quitting the show, Barb? Is that what or is that what this is supposed to be? That they're quitting the show, or is that what you're getting out of this, or no? That's not what you're getting out of this.
I didn't get out of this anything with the show as much as I got out of I guess they're just moving on in real life and trying to get to a better space.
Because I was like, does this mean y'all not coming back to the show? Does it mean that the show is over? Does this mean when y'all come back, we shouldn't be like, dang, y'all did all of that and now y'all friends? Like, yeah, it's weird.
Losers. It's giving losers, y'all. It's giving losers, but that's it. I mean, overall, I'm not going to say the season was a wash or anything like that. Like I would be lying. I did enjoy it, but it just
it's what Kev said. Kev said it. He said what we said, which was it had started off strong. He said it's kind of in the middle. He had said it's the season started off strong, but then it ended up and he got tomatoes at the end.
Oh yeah,
we saw that. So yes, he said that, and now we all agree. Like it's we have potential for y'all to come and do that to us. Like y'all messed that up. Y'all messed that up.
They did. They did. I feel like they really, especially because the ratings were so not that great, they knew coming into the reunion that they really had to give it. And I don't really feel like they did a good job of that. Haven't seen the ratings for the viewership audience ratings or whatever for this reunion yet, but I'm not holding my breath on it. Overall, again, I enjoyed it, but it just fell flat for me here in the end. And this second part could have been, except for maybe
one.
We're good.
We could have did a one-parter, you guys.
1-minute part. That's all we needed. 1 30-minute part. And they actually could have just did it via Zoom.
She said 30 minutes. She's killing me with 30-minute part. It's just killing me right now.
It could have been done via Zoom because we didn't get to the bottom. I feel like everybody's lying. Period.
I agree.
That's all I got.
That's all y'all. That's the ending of season 2. Housewives of Dubai. You guys, thank y'all for rocking with us this whole season. The people that have rocked with us, they should cut us a little check for trying to keep y'all interested, because we've been trying. But no, seriously, guys, yes, y'all gonna review Potomac or NYC. We actually are gonna start tomorrow.
Salt Lake City together.
Yeah, we're definitely Lake City.
I don't know. Are you gonna review Potomac?
I definitely want to do Potomac.
We're individually doing Potomac, and then
I'm doing NYC.
Yeah.
So
y'all freaking post notifications on so y'all know when we come back. Like my sis said, though, we will be back this week tomorrow, and it's already up there. So go on ahead, hit the bell so you know when we go on.
Yes.
We're going to be getting into Salt Lake City, which I heard is going to be a really good opener, y'all. So we're going to be snowy mountains in Salt Lake. So we'll be at this desert tomorrow. It's going to look real different around here. I might show up in a parka. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to get to it. We enjoyed y'all for rocking with us for 15 episodes total in this season. Y'all were down here with us. We appreciate you so much. I hope you like our commentary this season. I guess we'll see if we'll be back next season. That's not really up to us. It's up to them.
Yeah, we'll see how we'll do, y'all.
We sure will.
And y'all know if we get anything that we think is worth bringing to you guys, that's that comes out just like we had this tweet. But if they bring us anything, we'll come back and let y'all know what it is.
Kevin, please go watch my I reviewed the cast trailer last week. Please go look at that, because that's definitely a point we made it in those we made that point that
definitely
the cast is definitely of a darker hue.
It's a different color hue, which we love. We definitely love it. I think they've been listening, and I think maybe especially with Candace leaving And that's another one of our pretty brown girls that, they say like, you know what, we better do what we supposed to do. And let's see if the ladies, I think they're going to give. I think it's going to be great. I am going to miss Candace, though. I ain't going to lie. And I'm not even a big Candace fan, but I am going to miss her quick one-liners and hitting people upside the head.
We only will miss Candace. Candace is the only person that will be missed. There's not one other person that we will miss. And I will let you guys figure out what I mean by that. And yeah,
I know what you mean.
I'll leave y'all with that. But yeah, y'all be on the lookout.
Oh, you want us to do a collab? I won't mind. I don't mind. We might have to.
Yeah, we're gonna do Salt Lake City, y'all. We promised that. However, it's gonna be kind of hard to do multiple, but
yeah, it is because we really putting it together how we can get it together. So yeah, it is a little. It does get a little difficult, but no matter what, I'm always in her chat when she reviews her stuff. She's in my chat when I'm reviewing something. So no word, no friend.
We might come together like 1 or 2 times during this season or something if we're not doing the full season together. Y'all let us know. We're always open to different suggestions and stuff. So that's just more reason to comment in those comments because we both read our comments. And let us know if you guys, or not even Housewives, if you guys have some other things that you would like to talk about or other shows you want us to get up here and talk about or movies, documentaries, whatever. We're always open. So just let us know. We really enjoyed y'all. Y'all really showed up for us today. And that actually made me feel better than this season did because y'all really showed up for the last episode for real. I love it. I love that you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got to get to a meeting and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes. See y'all tomorrow. Have a good rest of y'all day, y'all.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.